I don't. Are you all aware of the concept of lease, or it is something which I need to explain? Let me explain anyway. I think because I think So loan versus lease. What is the difference? Loan, the difference is in terms of ownership. Loan meaning you are owner, you are paying an EMI. Suppose you have taken a home. Lease meaning, let's say you have rented it. So that means the ownership remains with the landlord, and at the end of the term, there is an end of the term thing where either you can renew the lease or you can, discontinue. So then that is the, oh, sorry, what is this? Yeah, so that is a big difference, and there are other differences as well, because when you have ownership, you can do anything you want with your own asset, change the color of the car or whatever changes you want. But if it is a lease, you can't do that. So there are certain rules, restrictions, and all that. And from the tax and financial perspective, there are some changes. I'll just touch upon that. So basically, concept-wise, financial lease is like ownership, like use. It's very similar to loan kind of a thing, with certain differences which are explained here. And operating lease is more like a rental kind of a thing, which I just now explained. Okay, of course there are certain differences. So long-term financial leases are usually long-term, and operating lease usually short term, like 1 year, 2 years, and all that. Financial lease is usually about all 75% plus of the life of the asset. And then after that, there is a transfer of ownership issue where either you can buy it back or the owner can purchase it back. And in operating lease, because it is short term, it is usually returned back to the owner, meaning you hand over let's say, your apartment to the owner from whom you have taken. The repairs for financial lease is usually handled by the lessee or the user, and repairs in case of operating lease is usually handled with a lessor and the owner. These are generic thing I'm saying, depends on the type of contract. So I'll go to the next slide. So here are some examples and the benefits and accounting treatment. Probably I'll leave the accounting treatment out. You can read. I'll circulate it. If you have any question on that, I'll be happy to answer that. But uh, here is an example. Typical asset in case of financial lease, heavy industry machinery equipment, for example. So what is the benefit to the leasee, meaning who has taken it on lease? He conserves cash because he's not paying upfront. That is not his core business. Therefore, he can deploy the cash for his other areas of business, which are far more important. Then potential ownership at the end of the term, as I said, that he could buy it, and he claims depreciation and interest benefits also. Of course, there are certain intricacies on that which are there at the bottom of the slide, but I'm just skipping it for that time being. And why the lessor who is actually financing it be interested? For him, the benefit is secured cash flow. So he gets income, then lower recovery risk on default. That is, it's very important for the bank, for example, or anybody who is financing the asset. The Then there is no maintenance burden. He doesn't have to worry about how the machine is working and what kind of the problems they're facing, etc. And he also deducts depreciation and interest for the tax benefits. Again, there are intricacies involved here. which are explained at the bottom of the slide. Operating lease, on the other hand, for example, here I have taken office space or rental for the leasee who is taking it. Key benefits: flexibility. Today, I don't like this locality, too much of noise, sound, this, that, another, not right for my office, commuting problem, typical Bangalore. So I can terminate the lease and I can move it. But if I own the asset, then it will be very difficult, especially in India. I mean, real estate is a major headache. So low commitment in the sense like if I am owner of the asset, then obviously it's my property appreciation. It's all these things are important. So therefore, my commitment in terms of maintaining, in terms of staying on, in terms of putting up with problems is a lot. And the capital, again, he saves, it stays focused on the core business. He doesn't have to pay upfront to buy, let's say, an apartment. Okay. Later, the guy who's financing it, for example, he retains the property, he's owner, and he can reset the rent at renewals, and he has got a recurring income. So since it is 10 minutes, I'll stop here, Vivek, unless you want me to cover the accounting part of it, which is really not necessary, I think. This much is enough for the emission purpose, is what my feeling is.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thank you, Ramlendraji. I really appreciate that. I hope it must have helped many people today to understand lease, financial lease and operating lease and how to treat them equally well. I hope this was supposed to be done by Team A, but sorry, Team A and Team A could not do it. So your help is definitely appreciable and appreciated. Let's go ahead with our today's session. If you guys can see my screen,